station make sure say eventually African elections. And I was there, and an inspector came to me asking me to move out from the premises. And I'm saying, oh, me a media person, I have even showed him my tax, everything officially. And officer was asking me to move out. So no, I can't go out. What if I go out or something happen? Hey, he slapped me. CJ, my dinner temo, my yano, my yaneshe, man can't me the channel.
Reports of what has gone on at the North this morning is very disturbing. This is not the democracy that we want to see in Ghana. Our supporters are being attacked by thugs in the presence of the police, who have been unable to protect them. The candidate, Electoral, has been attacked. Our Kumsun has been attacked. Our deputy national organizer has been attacked. So many of them, or Asante, many women have been attacked. At every election, we want to see that the democracy is being enhanced. And this is very important for the peace and stability of our country.
Yeah, well, Bruni say best practice. Inti enche kra busumi insia empanse busumi nsuni. Eni ekotu aba no fine. Ti ase no mire fi busumi esi. Ahoboaboa a police for ya oboko. E mansa na obiwura ase no fukra no. Roadblocks any checkpoint e wo kwa. Ye gina oni ehwehwe oka mu say tuo mu a ye gi through nsem na we politician we den. Ye ma wonfa tuo ni aboba ne nkika ho enkura ase no. Desire Pinukra Dada Nefri Swa. One more, almost my yes, I know. Woman in our Dodona, Edasu police operations for no woman in our woman in cry, training, any experience, exposure, na in Yawa, sin not. Nedasu police. Assumptions, Nina, Mintumus again, a bit of change of the since they say we Ghana young friend cancer, see a court violations and I into the Ubian Cononco 12.
Eti ye kwanu ni anim say awurabna oben electoral commission de wo mo de wo kasa obeko wo kasa wo nko wo won hyehyɛ ye abode ye adwuma eti wo munya de to wo no mo say sei ni ye kɔ na court nka hwe nkyere bon no obeye wadwuma de a wo so ye no emra kwa so na last minute MPP for party ne se ye nko candidate se mekɔ ewi ase no abusia ensusanso no na aba no awurabna oben eti na no meka say ye to abani wi a I'm grateful, I'm thankful brofo akese some board billboards ana omo mountain wo constituency wono obi anhu ni obekonti obi edase enne obi bedase a awurabna oben ene edase NDC amanyoko no ena edi nkunim ewo constituency wono eti nkonwa abonya ye mra hyebedwa nkonwa no ebi abeka ho One saying, I can't say in Kado, Nemo Munia Piemu ni epie mu a enye ene ye hwe animu se ebre da ye nimu o ye akwatia constituency anyame ya domo a se ye de oman mraku ni ye adwuma article 97 na se ye se by election se emrahye badwani bi se me kroso akoba bi fufuro ne ye wo firi mu na wo se obi be hye na namu a abusua wo se ye kwa akwatia constituency na ne si na no wa Ablekuma North ye no enye the whole constituency kura ne ye se ye kwoto aba no o empotemu maako dunkono ye to aba no ene ye se da bi hade ne ye hu ne ye nkwoto no ene atwitwa asem a ye hu ye no na me ne ye me nwanwa ye firi na no maka ne se emra ya hyeda hye no manimukane no wo de na nke yemfa ne se emra ni ho ebi wo ho kura de yemfa ne se bi ni ho eti mpanimfo se yen hyeda nyemra sa vigilante nhyehyeye yemfa mra na wo bi se ya manyokuo se ye metwofo ebeka wo ho abom wo de atwitwa se metia mra ye nche won enu achi ne ne ye hu yo enu achi ne ne 2020 ye hu ye abato ye to ye enu achi ne 2024 ye hu ye ene nanu de ye ye ko ye ne ye sa ko hu eti se nyame anom yen na se ye betoa so because se mra na ni ho no mo mra no aba eti ye sa aka ye den aye yesu ne ye ban se ye de se na tutwasem wo beji tumi se bia ya to aba wie me se Ghana ni ya kire me masede se omamba pa e wo se me to aba na makwa akoto aba no na me wie a e wo se ye protect me aba no amato no ye ntumi protect ne ye beba ne se mimi pe e beda ni bi because metofo bi nipa bi se wo mo no maje paweremfo mbedi nsemone se mra ni nyina ya ntumi amfa anya adwuma abusua menyi ni se bekoyie eti ni asie se ye behu se emra be ye adwuma se ye behu se ye sesa akwatia by election na da yanim no be kire efira prosifo so sa kade ne de be ma wo prosifo strategy omode ko enanse ya batuo mu ye kwa ye nkitawe na se sesam wo metofo ne be prevent woni o kwan ye be fa so aye adwuma no e wo sa kwatia ye kone de asomwie ba na MPP amanyoko no so kura ye ekwe no muni candidate a mumakunafo ne ho nwono posters asha se ba no mama Mavis wonyo no Mavis nkan kire obi aso obekọ hu eniema bi ikoso na nsenya se ya nhwe ne yi a se ya kwadwuro se ya de yo political parties no ene ehukunu nya wu ya ne ye befa e de wa besi so ba wo de hwe trend na nse ekoso wo de hwe kakra o feeling do okuru shai wo sudoku a no ye Greater Accra Regional Minister wonu ni de na meka se seat no kura watumi akitamu ache onu ni kunu nya kwanhia menkai a no ofiri mu na shai osudokufu ase wo be kwa ndisi amanyokuo no chinchina atwan because wahu ebra ye de koye by election so obi firi mu a enu wona kunafo bia ni hono mu a chesa abrehwo ye woni mu afiri ni mu because enna no enuru be boso me kura na yesi yemfa nkoto aba no eti odi kunafo no kwa na niwa mu ni suo di abrehwo no akwa akwadwo emfantima de ye ekoso yi maami prosini ne de ayi okoye Ophelia Hayford die wakoye kosi sen yankosi aga ayawa so weso agon kosi sen Lydia Sayiram enne senka donkuma yiri wa menani anye de ne na sofudie ya ko no kura edweso nko mo de ne koye enna nne se hwan na akoye sa posters yo se hwan na akoye sa posters yo se Mavis ya kumiyire se wo be ko wa kwatia constituency waka chem se hon wo to aba MPP amanyoko no political parties no sa niema boyi a mompe nipa wo kwa se me koye adwuma enye based on say eni kuna wu no wo mobo ne ento aba ma no sa de no amoye no mu betwa so amuntwa so na mo ma kunafo no nwene wo mo ababa wo nka ase wo kwa ba bia o Mavis wukunu me se na ya kumi nya se opese approve point bi eche nipa ebo akwatia enka aba no kura after 2020 no konko wono no nie wo fam nu wanu ne ho echi hwa wo ma tena fie na hwa wo ma di ukuna na hwa wo ma emu obi ma hihye wo na wo kwa abawi na akwa abawi seat no mo mo form seat ma MPP form seat no mkope candidate no mo mfa ne megina na dwene wo ho Say kunafo nko sia nam kunafo nko sia nam ye ntwa so. Say kunani bia na dwen so obekwa na ne poster mu di mirika akoye e dia beto wo no mo say e na Mavis kumi na ekwa kwatia na Mavis mo ma ne nwene ne ho. Mo ma ne nwene ne ho no oni ni kuna. Sa de no ananse mo de ba na wo ye kunafo no wo ye kunafo mo yanwen ye ho. Mo me yanwen ye ho mu ni candidate na amanyoko no mape ba bi atena. E na me kan wo mo kwa because nipa na bi kura ne ni mu say me pese me ye amanyosem anase woni sa capability ne say adwuma no obetumi aye politics ne ye na different o Ghana da bia me kasa wo de se wonni mu papa wonni mu maame wonni ba bia wo fira kwaye politics ye be kire wo ye beto ho apen ye be kire wase ama wo awahu eti wonni sa kukuduro no sa wo de be ye a wontumi nye Ophelia Hayford ko ye ya mo de constituency for ansa na ade aba maami ayewaso weswagun momma wo monwene mo ho na ye ntwa saa ne ma no so MPP amanyoko no monkopem candidate na momma Mavis nwene no ho mo amaye saa flyers na nne awiemu atu agum na Mavis na ekọ na Mavis meba obi amane se wo gya ne ma ho no mo asa ba akwatia ho a ni kunu ba ye matete no wo sa ba ho no momma ne nwene no ho no ntena ne ba bi abusuan yesi adwa na enne bani ni sujumedie no edru brano na no wanse na 24 hour economy no wose akire wumu na uhu se ne niema sikro enne so wose niema ekoso wo mayimu wanse ye wo mu a ne agent fo ni abesi adwa na o mo bobna niema ye krade ba ene ye de ba ne ye yi a na shipping lines no o mo mo ayen ye ka ni nyina ekokosi sen enne nyame adawuruma ya chine we intensi because I'm penning for no wo hwehwe woni abebra ebi de ne se mete office na me ye adwuma eti adwuma no kura wo ye no nipa nhede hu adwuma no a wo ye ene Professor Ranso Jampo one acting CEO Emma Ghana Shippers Authority ene chese ne wo ho no mu bia fewu ne dom afewu ane ne dom ne chese mu amaka nyina wo de owo haw no a adwenkyere no ebeba mampani bo hye ye o hye ye ba ye behwe na ensuo so akwantuo niema ye kraba no ye mma ye ma memu ne wo mo kraba meboka ye behwe ne aye nhyehyɛ ya mo ho adwe wo nhyehyɛ no akosi sen ene Professor Ranso Jampo ewofia ye ne no ebetwetwen enkomo nti wafidie ne da ha usa prof so de ba amanyosem owom ena ne baby a wode apie no no nti na ye twafa baby a ma me na me producers ase loyalist wo kwadwofodwo kwamkule nu chechire Aisha Akua Ibrahim ena Jamra Twuma Kowua ni odematum live wo Facebook and YouTube ni din e di Edward Tete wo friend Africana obeje oso Franco Trading Enterprise yeda wasese wota yachi eye gadgets and wode aba TV esi ani mefiri wo ho na computers atwi ehun air conditioners ni nyina papa Franco adaroma en wode dom yen sa wo pebi na akọ no mo a ene watim se watade papa say washing machine blenders ni nyina wokọ adabraka dan ye ne Roxy Cinema di animhwe no a eho no mo a na Franco Trading Enterprise wo midin ade akua boachiwa yadom mo frɛ me ABY a mejo so prof Afishiapa.
I think I'm at you.
Boko dear.
Me Adom me ho ye pa na wo so.
Igum.
Na yese me kire wade.
Prof, igugum me no. Me department enyo ho linguistics department na me wo. Me ne professor Openyeje kum
no. Anya political science ni.
Debi.
Oh sir.
Na Professor Pana Vice Chancellor or Honomo
Professor Naba Amfo. Okay, linguistics wano
omunsem na me fai.
Entina wano awosan. Linguistics.
Me ne kaba ne bai. Nyame fa ne crazy na kaba.
Kaba na de no am student. Okay.
Kaba fa wo ho na me yes debi. Nko ha.
Entina mo belong to the same year group.
Yes,
okay.
Same year.
Okay. Yo.
Enti ejanka kra yuguso prof. Bibia boko de.
Me ho ye. Bibia ye boko.
Edenya me ase. We say kanene de nka prof be ni enim say oh, prof be kan manyosem eso enne ye kan ni akase Beneza de nyame e de ya bedru ni nti enim de no wo ho no mo a ye de bi somo man ye de bi say ye kira de ye danti baby a waduru no na minim say ye boldin say acting CEO na ye wonwanwa say da bi me de me kire ma de o me bibi bo hu say ho de me nkọ ho na bibi sa ye convince you ansa na wo take up sa position we.
Oh, sɛ saa asɛm maka bi ha na menka wɔ edu baby ɔmampani feel sɛ wote abɔnten na de bia wotu bi ma ne amanyɔfoɔ ɛnam wade a wokyerɛ nti in fact amanyokuofoɔ ne mpanimfoɔ bebree wɔ hɔ a makyerɛ ɔmadeɛ nti no ne nyinaa bi ka ho na ɛtɔre bi a wokyerɛ adeɛ na nkɔɔfoɔ mfa nyɛ adwuma papa na ɛhaw nti no ɛnɛ na ɛhyɛ yɛn na yɛfeel sɛ ɛbɛtumi akasa sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a we shape the conduct of politics and governance in Ghana. Ɔmampani sɛ watena abɔnten akasa afei deɛ wɔkasa nafa bɛboa nafa bɛsoma ɔman no nti tietia na me feel sɛ me ade kyerɛ deɛ mepɛ bia me nso ɛno ne ade wɔ me nti no ɔka sɛ memfa mbɛsoma ɔman no me feel sɛ ade papa the way a osi culture ade no atena abɔnten akasa asese kasa na ma me hu sɛ bibi wɔ mu a obetumi de abo ɔman no nti bɛboa na yɛmmu ɔman no sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a ɔman no ntoma pa nso bɛyɛ dɛn ɔbɛfa no ntoma pa efura na ɛkasa ne ɛkasa nyinaa no nso so ne ɛnkasa sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛkasa kɛkɛnti ɛna yɛkasa yɛpɛ sɛ mpuntu ma menka asɛm nkyerɛ me kɔ conference bi wɔ Saudi Arabia na nneɛma biara yɛ adwuma wɔ hɔ biribiara yɛ adwuma pepepe bibi nneɛma mekɔ no na me wɔ madwen a me wɔ ɛwɔ mo ho taxi driver afa me kra na me ne nkasa yɛsɛ me suro no me bu ne sɛ nipa bɔne ni bi edu ye kwa odu bebi na ogina no ɔse look haye Arabian country na ha yenye basabasa yendi bɔne wɔ ha nti bebi a wɔkɔ no me de wobɛkɔ ɔde me kɔsi asomdwe mu me phone me kɔdidi baby agya me phone to hɔ me wie no me kɔtena conference ase me mu hyehye me a organizers no bisa me sɛ na Adom me gya me phone no so yo wobɛkɔ no na da hɔ enda hɔ nso a na da reception ayɛnwie adeɛ wɔ ha asi ayɛnwie adeɛ wɔ ha na wei na me hyia madam for na ɔsi na wo deɛ ya me follow Ghana ni me follow pa na Ghana de wo kasa wo na ha de untumi be kasa saa wo ana me se adan no se na ayen kasa saa wa ha ana me ka kire no se na edan na be mama kasa wa ha. That's a question I'm bisa no the minimum obi ye adwuma yentua na kakra no $1,000 say wo no minimum adan from near 1,000 na bibia ye adwuma everything. I say a bus yes and koi. Utimi tena bi mu free. Wo sika tua. Uni sika si form. Na opa yen try nhwe. Yetena bus no. E drive di bibia won a wo sika ne tua. E do o say unni omusika ne bia da na se nakọ. Wada na se we si form. Oma kwan. Omunuane. Omunsuo. Omu bibia ye dwuma. Enti ona me bisa na se na wo say ha de wontumi nkasa na me san se na waka ase kasa no sabi ya adwe nye adwuma ne kasa ye pempuntu enti ne kasa okay na bibia ye adwuma wa ha de ya then there will be no basis to be complaining enti me kan ko si se kasa na ye kasa no it was aimed at ensuring say it be keep governments and regimes on their toes for time they started for time ne kasa. You subjected him to street proofs. At a of time, near Kasa, President Muhammad time, near Kasapa, and Sakufuado. Okay, ain't no, na nyesa wakasa for the fun of it. Namum seni abeya near Mabi inti. And your man penny say, wakasa no, Sampani and Passa seni abeya or mine, ye bebuni ye nani mabakoni ye dia. And yet, me force I won't be more obi to me ade. Ade abwa ade abesoma man nti no besoma man no sa akwan no so na me se o ene me ntumi nya den empopomiti ana eja yeso mu sa nanso me council mo bia to say yeso mu still no wie no me ene CEO a me wo wia me wo Ghana ha yama me secondment say me nkonkoso maban enso still an minya de chere inti merekyira de na mesan esum aban na mekyira de a mekyira mfofuri nti woni me kase menim so producer ka kyerɛ wa me fi classroom me ye medwuma wie no me pon ye no me call lecture hall ko kyira de fi lecture hall no mabai nti mekyira de free ansa masoma aban so nti we na ye de ye adwuma se ne be ya oman no empuntuo be dey ebe koso na de kyerɛ ne makase bibia nya me be pija me edu bia no se me oman mu nko ade a mekyira de account
me kura minim so da so kyerɛ de
na fojo an kan kyerɛ o me ka kyerɛ earlier frame na me lecture hall na me ka say me kyerɛ de na me wi ameba nti me ye medwuma wi no na me ko kyerɛ de me fi classroom maba na me ka ama wate ma Ghana fo nyina ate se me kyerɛ ade no me kyerɛ ne free university ni ntua meka so me kyerɛ nya adagye kyerɛ me courses nyina ana patututu me ko gina wa me kyerɛ ma de ya me ko adwuma ana se nwumre me pon ma adwuma makɔ lecture hall makɔ kyerɛ ma de nyina de small man no
na wo kan no minim say this is the first time I been be afrɛ wo se beboa ma o man na adwuma nkoso because you say bi o no mo ewo mu a ye be frɛ wo si o this time there me nya ready ana ban we mu de me mpɛsɛ mesom we ni edi kan a ya frɛ wo se besom ewo aban no mu
so ka President Muhammad dia me say what was a frame I think in the lead up to 2016 election na on person ka me call contest parliamentary seat or me krum solpon fancyman na me feel say emrenso and I was so west wagon election by I think bra Boachiche manting ejako ewuye no and also na me wo University of Bristol as visiting scholar I wo no so mpenim photo nsa frame sa and also mpono me ka say me feel say me nya me person me di me teacher sa enti we betumi aye the third and as a fourth time atonsa aframe me feel say so one full say bibi papa be omo ametumi di abo man dia enne me nso sene am pese me small man nti no enne ye be yere ho na ya boa sene be ya omam no mpuntuo no ebe konenim na so man no konenim ye na boa na so man no efa ne ntoma pa fra na mpuntuo no ekonkan a enna kasakasa na se foni na be dey ebe kofom nti no we are seeking to help President Mahama to reset na megidi se or reset ya eboa eso mfaso no ebi ba wunye bi na me nso menye bi be say 2 months and say 3 months ago be 2 months ago na me koye esese metue sike bi $500 eko abrochi na me de secure adibi na me yese metua no CD metua na it's almost 10,000 cedis just for $500 just about a month ago me say tua $500 no eba na abo be 6,000 cedis na chese emfaso no President Mahama amemmu no edeba na me nso kra no ekame sa na ka obi a enti sane ya me yesho se be ka port asem na sefu and the duty no akofom because of the exchange rate na amana abafom
hono ehia me pa me do si amanyo se minu se na freight forwarders ni we no omo no hono ehia omo yanko ba ye beko na ne ewo mu ni when say 2 ni nyina course 2 ni nyina ye parliamentary adwuma Solpon and then ayawaso West Wagondie ya wo no is it the case say parliament de no wani nhada nye ho ana sabre na ska ni ho
there be anya sa onipa man as I say man know thyself me prepare ana enchenso oka me bua na saa ye partisan politics na ye kogina simpie so na we sise na me ntue sika na masom okoye pale osom papa bia wo ho no osom na won a wasom won no wia wasom won no wie no na omo ayeden agbawa baso na ye elections aye obeko parliament na sefo a aje se o tue sika bibiri tua na tua saa de no kwasem enye mefe because I know what I can do. Sabe me UTAG general secretary, me UTAG president. Men ko tue sika, men ko of one ametewo. ana omo say ye full so betumi aso yen enti bra na be som yen na me call yen so no call University of Ghana on be ka kire o me som omo pa akum hu aye adwuma because omo ntua meka omo so man bribe omo on ne be fa me nse nipa wote wo na won call be fa se kona kosom na wentua nya se obribe ye na mom won ne fa se kona kosom a eye ni onyam hye ene ya honwa ho a enti wo serve omo a ukun ho na den wo serve na say ne ekoso yi obi go e parliament ya na once to say so tua bribe o tua delegate o tua say bebre e friend say me kai 2016 na president ma kan na me kan say mo ka say nka me nko contest ya me ka say me no minyam fa miti minyan ka se menye no me call me krom na enkofo bi aba da hotel kokoko ye ba ne ye ba beji ye pewe na unye we mayen mayen we mayen enti omo ya na me ka kire omo se we na ye vote buying tendency ase me ni omo ka me kire omo no then one me kasa no kra dem say papa eja mo nye serious so person obe ya di enti no se me nkofo enemu se I have what it takes and I serve passionately. Maybe I make obia no me de me ready ne me sunsun makoma ade a me ye bia me ye a me ye ne ye se me nya me nye se me ye dia me ye no my ne ye. Okay, enti se me call for full se metumi asomo mo asomo ye na wonyina ka bom be fa me se ko na mfante man ko na kosom ye se ebia emrahye begomni a ene omo no maka na mom se me kwa kotue sika se me kwa kosom na menye
eno an wa ode na ode atu if say me kai before
I will not pay to serve.
Before 2016 one member of parliament catch me say 4 billion and so cry went to parliament
o say ni
yes na bank ka da ho e wo so otua na 4 billion he was thinking so we parliament wa can see kan kakra ba na say yetete no eno enya nwura ho
enti ese o man 40 asese
and 4 billion
ese so o man 40 asese omo asitine mo bekoso aye emu be yram so long as people would have to go borrow, people have to take loans to be able to pay them bribe. But you see kabebre na for the amount of 10 cities omutua sa bribe ni we no parliament of course we tua ka wie osum papa bi e de ho a obetumi de asom because he kanka your friend is saying asum anka so obetumi asom na adwen aye diverted esese sikwan of aso ekonya sika o de be ma ota sa 10 cities no enu na esese odwen ho na kwan bi obefa so a obetumi erikupu sa sika no na bebi a okofa no de kwakoto no ode kwakoto ode koto ho wie a na wasa pe kwan obefa so enye bi apre so na the next election ayeden ode a contest na sefo enti so obedi osum papa besom omanfo no emma so because wasum wodeda what do you see kewie enti kwan a onye school a omwa me yensi a hospital a onye because otuatua oka ebinum so kura no esa komo a adi omunti omo so kwa wehu enti ene maye na de aduane nde ne daatso ba be ya maye no se kwan no ba be yi amaye a se ya session opeso improve a for maye intensity ye beje nde na ne okwa amemma. This is our mindset that has also contributed to the conduct of parliamentary aspirants. Emma yen to be provide the effective and adequate representation of the people. Enti say nyina yeji atum say osom papa de wosom a obrapa eja owura kwan wosom a yebebo abaso se saa ne de kode a eno de saa sika na nkofo tuatua bribe na mamese ansa na yato aba ma no eto betwa na mom se eto entwa saa na se NCC yinum ambode wuro se yeto aba ense se ye cheche niema anse yato edisika anse yato yanya ne saa representation will continue to suffer serious deficiencies, and so long as representation continue to suffer these deficiencies, the quest to develop the people, particularly at the grassroots, would always come to naught.
Abusia safen wabi e wafidi e haya Adom 106.3 FM so beni ni shujumedie eni ya debra nuko Facebook a yedemu live wo ho oba Adom 106.3 FM a like na share na for adwenche to YouTube so subscribe de bi bebe bia no obeti enka ewo ho no mo ene ye ne acting CEO ema Ghana Shippers Authority Professor Ransford Jampo ene ne no asi adwa nkomotwetwe no ye hwe oman yi ye ka nsusen gina bia ho ntoto ye wo magi mu a ye koye nim ye ba ye chi bo sha ban yi hye ye ba ye be hwa ma woni ekra ne ma ba wo ho adwo no pempenso ben ye die dru ye si adwa na ye ne prof hia ma ne nyon nwanwa say de politics na asase because ye ntumi nya prof abra ye nkwa anumu prof hia ase o kan asem bi se me tiachire e wo say ye kire ya dwen ni ye de bo anti o ma mu kura na de adwen kire na aboa eti prof from mampanida da adwen jekum kofo abre so beto sa abre makoreti bi machire bi ebi ya de kire amo kire ebi ye contribution a wo make programs na ya frɛ na wo de aba ye kase ye manyo sem no ba bia ye duru no eye ye de na nsa ne na die toto ho a ye kɔ ye nim eduru ba bia na ya ba ye chi ana se eyara
ya manyo sem no ye the conduct of politics in Ghana no what the toto amanfo bebre ho a eye the chair say we are a transitional democracy ye kase see there are 4 stages of democratic progression. Oman bia free ne se akoye democracy 4 stages. Number 1, the stage 1 no authoritarianism. Authoritarianism no any onipa baako a ubu oman kan kembi. Well, in authoritarian regimes no, the human rights that are granted no, human rights that are enjoyed no nia odi oman no so no ema ho kwan. Nia ono kase eya wo right no ena eya wo right nia ose enya wo right no enya wo right oman Ghana ye free sati ye free ho you move to the next stage of democratic progression, a form of transitional democracy or an electoral democracy. Within this, and then from there no ufi electoral democracy and a transitional democracy we call liberal democracy, and then from liberal democracy we go to advanced liberal democracy. So let me talk about the features of transitional democracy. Features of transitional democracy no and say a hono kebi mamen kebi amemu no ewo ho nanso entu mpom papa. The human rights that are prevalent within a transitional democracy are political rights. Political rights, the right to vote and be voted for. Freedom of speech in as a form. And it is within transitional democracies and rights no edi entintimai. ECOSOC rights, I'm talking about economic, social, and cultural rights. They are not fully developed in a transitional democracy. And baby or ultimately they are buying court. Say, I didn't maybe school na minye juma. But how yes I because we do because those are economic rights that are not so developed. But say you be abattoir, you be contest election. Those ones are highlighted within transitional democracies. But take note, the conduct of elections in transitional democracies, they are always highly contested, and elections become do or die. And their freeness, fairness, and transparent nature, they are not always guaranteed. Not just say, in an electoral democracy or in a transitional democracy, to about hodie. Now, so about one debia in some year day, in a transitional democracy, they be a nipa press here, but a man for press here, contest election, as for that one is heavily developed. But the point is that within such democracies, even though you conduct free, fair elections, you conduct periodic elections, oftentimes those elections are saddled with challenges. Okay, that's a transitional democracy. That's where we find ourselves. We call liberal democracy, and no dear. Elections are conducted and they are seamless. Ehona bra me ko school or America na omoto aba elected President Barack Obama. And omoto aba it was so seamless. And me call me supervisor Professor Per Robinson. I'm say na ye to aba wa ha. I'm say I'm saying how then I mean to say Adom FM na nso say yako we ballot box bi wa ha obi dia ba akobo obi tiri obi akọ na adwuma
police fo ni ho
obi bia no say oh say yen democracy no akọ nanim enti no ha elections are seamless ye to aba and phobia ho eno an say obi akọ adwuma oh nti obi enya adaje enkoye yi basabasa bibi. And people, things go on in a very seamless manner. And to say, yeah, elections are a do or die affair. And they just say, near obey elections, or ATM machine, or never under so. In a transitional democracy, we near a battle. And to say, when your ATM machine, or veranda so, into the man you do or die. But don't come be a liberal democracy, or no, or when you be did that, or you mad that. Into elections the crown fan or when BBD answer about to eba. So in liberal democracies, elections are seamless. All the rights, human rights are developed. So political rights are fully developed. Economic, social, and cultural rights are also fully developed. That's a liberal democracy. Then you move from liberal democracy to advanced liberal democracy. A Hona NIPA claim access and ownership to human rights that are sometimes beyond the imagination of other human rights. Enti ho ena onipa bi gina o se me dua I have the right to become and baby me mbokro ni din obi a yakọ party na after party no utu ne car na ewa bi gina n'echi ewa kọ a o se me nkọ adan ya o se me dua me right to become to describe myself say me dua enti no onko a ose onko pipi onko na ne krachi ko fa chin so wen and we dua me so betwa ansana you see. So in those countries that are described as advanced liberal democratic countries, and no na nkofo bi demand certain rights. Would you want to say, Nanipa na demand this right? So those rights they demand sometimes are beyond the imagination of other human beings. That's so in terms of democratic progression, Ghana ya froba kope, ye free authoritarianism to a transitional democracy, and we are exhibiting we are exhibiting only the features of transitional democracies. Now, so yen to me in kase. Esa say ye just transitional democracy nintino ye de eno nko abebo ye ho safo hen ya ka say ha de eniema enhye da enye papa wa ha ntino nia enye no eno an ye be perpetuity wo kan twese mo se hwe papa ne sua ntino we copy from best practices. Your friend is saying ye hwe other liberal democracies eniema omoye na yehwe adesua yesua ne adekira yekire no eno etumi boayen ema etumi tutu ya namo eden efro the ladder of democratic progression ye enti no it is true say in terms of your governance and the conduct of politics and democratic practice no niema bebre wo ho a enko yi die, but it is also true say ye yere ye ho se ye pese niema ko yi a eniema betumi ayeden akoyi te se ne aye ken se violence I say akoye se ye to by elections bia na se to abebia na se nipa ba ko bi wa na nipa mienu bi wa na se pro bi na se boro bi no. It is a typical feature of a transitional democracy. It's a feature of a transitional democracy, but yemfa eno no embo ye husafo hene nka se yen ye saa ne ete se nipa ye right thinking people in society. Well, say niema ekoso saa na se nya asase yetumi tena se ka se there be saa de we de egu ye nimu ase enye nti ase ye den yesesa nti eye kakra won a akọ omunimu no they also experience some of these things at their fledgling stage in their democratic progression, but omo ye edwumaden ebo omo modern say ese ye na kakra kakra na ye den ye sorry fi saa etutra asem ne niema ense emfata no eho nti ebetumi aye ye nso a age se ye ma emra ankasa nso ye den eye edwuma se ade bi koso enra na se yamfa mra anye edwuma ekoso enne a eye den se ubenya akukuduro no ede saa emra no aye edwuma enti we have to start from somewhere. Enti no asese ye nyina regardless of whoever you are no udi mra ofom mra ese mra ne den ene udi na se ekoye se bia we no mo de yemfa mra nya adwuma na we no de be adwuma na eno so den yimu den ekoba nti no ade a eye no eye ade a enye nso so no den enye nti obisa me say in my general assessment of democracy na meka say within the realms of transitional democracy ne de nia SSC ye no eno a na ye but wode yen etoto other transitional democratic countries na ebe se yen de mpo de as your friend is saying yakwe enimu kakra saying ebinum in terms of how we have tolerated ourselves. There is a certain tolerance amongst ourselves, and in terms of the fact that yejidi say we can disagree but there will be no implosion. You bet me I disagree I can say much and I say for but say on mine be bono as a hano we are closely knit to ourselves to say regardless of our disagreement no yenye crowd say yebema on mine ayeden abo inti to meet na say ekasa e disagree wo mra yenye den yenko ma conference bi ewo another African country amembodin conference no ye na ye omodi ye koye hotel no na as a Ghana for me no bi na omo disagree omo disagree e wo car no mu de dende omo wie ya omo si form na omo asanso omo nsem na omo sakoto Nigeria for bi aram ka say and na mo disagree na mo wie mo send ade enya ne sa o and na me sure well these are some of the things that would continue to safeguard our democracy and prevent it from relapse. So into authoritarianism. We have decided, or it appears that there is a certain consensus amongst all of us that democracy is the way to go, and we've been able to protect it well.
You, Prof. Ma, minna wasina fe yanchisi yasempa edapno so emu ene politics ne de wo mu e besan atiesim ne mum yanhwe every bra u cheki office minimie se ye ka susen emu akwantuo emu dwadie e wo mayimu a omanyi sika boa yam yetumi gina ye na so no ye ntumi nyi anu mfiri mu ma ne nyeyi ene ye bisa se ye gina mpempen so ben susen akwantuo susen mu eniema ye kraba oman no ye gina ne sen.
Okay, so the question will be better posed if you understand the mandate of the Ghana Shippers Authority. Tio, you can't shipping now. Ghana for in Antiasia. Oh, no man, uncle for say, and we are more Shippers Authority, and mamma ship on pay. And I say, me cry a DB na boamena, mintia duty, and I'm for well, you know,
authority,
you know, part of the challenges of every developing country is public ignorance. And to say, I bind to be kobo bosia se me de kosi school, and I bind to be kobo bosia se me de koye car kwine. I bind to be kobo bosia se me de kosi hospital. Say I bind it to be bosia say I want to address public ignorance. And also count. So to me and educate and conform my ignorance also and conform more, and also to me run against a buying's effort at bringing about development. Okay, I say COVID buy. Yes, you'll be answer them. Now so ebinumo to me pfia bonten say yakwhwe say obi nkofo hye dem a me kotonam and me share me nose mask and na me ka kire nkofo ne say omo so share nose mask omo say COVID-19 bi ni wona ankranfo mpenimfo na COVID here omo nti me na me hwe ye man fa COVID. You see, ignorance is there. All right, now a lot of people, Ghana Shippers Authority has existed for 51 years. But then me say, omo mpa omo ho asem, omo yi omo djuma boko, me na me hu ye dede nti na me koy. But omo mpa omo ho asem. Nti no, it appears that a lot of people do not even know their mandate. Ye ka shipping na mpacho tiu. Essentially a dwedie. Ejedi and I said the transfer of goods from one destination to the other. Okay, the transfer of goods from one destination to the other. Now, that transfer, say you did near my fee, baby barco, and baby for and shipping. adwin ba okesene kakraba mechiro se wode niema efi eha na wode akokɔ ene friend say shipping
teacher say ya the niema fra brochire ba Ghana
ene friend shipping and I say the niema ne fi Ghana ekɔ abrochire ene friend shipping now ti ase say shipping no niema e di fi abrochire ekɔ efi Ghana ekɔ abrochire no niema na efi Ghana ekɔ abrochire no ye di bi fa ensuo so ye di bi fa ewiem so ye di bi fa car kwan so. What I'm trying to say is that shipping occurs on the land, it occurs on the seas, and it occurs in the air. Enti dano a motorbike adebi asay wo honkoko mlemle ha na musu yo omo be shipo ade na breme nti me ho na niwa repairer no okoyo so me call airport makoji ade na omo ship buy na so omo di ade ne fa aeroplane and the buy nti se wo de niema e fi Ghana e de akwa abrochi na wo de hye wo de to aeroplane mu a wa shipo vice versa wo de fi abrochi e ba Ghana wo de fa aeroplane mu a wa shipo ana niema no wo de fi ha Would fi Burkina Faso tomatoes would fi Burkina Faso now the tra border na would the faka tra border eba Ghana washipo would fi Ghana and so the faka ekoha washipo and now would the fence you so a why then washipo na ye ka shipping na amanfo nyina adwen ekogina nsuo so aha so shipping Ghana Shippers Authority are mandate covers shipping activities in the air, on the sea, and on the land. Asasusu na ena nya edwuma ye ne se. Kane no yemfa nsuo so de enye example. Kane no na shipping lines omo amanone se wo de okrom yi ship bi eni ha. Enti amanone for shipping lines ewo ho no e bi apa akọ Germany, akọ Europe, shipping lines ewo ho no. Se woko na akoto wade na wodi si omo ship no so se bia yemfa mbra Ghana isan se woni ship ni binti no omo de niema ne si ship no so a na de ba Ghana nia ebo a obo no eno na wotua Patriotism say se woni ship ni bi obi so ansoma se fa niema ko si ne ship so enti ebo bi a opɛ wo no yeden otumi de ball ye an mpanimfo na tena ase so many years ago eno mo ka say enam santi no developed countries omo shipping lines no ase de bia no omo sisi enibiefo ne moborofo omo developing countries enti no UN resolution na omo pass say across the globe no there should be shippers authority established oman bia establish a shippers authority na shippers authority mo adwuma no mbe ne sen en se obi a owo shipping line no wo de woni ema kosi ne ship so na se eba na se obo a shippers authority for etume kɔ ekɔ kasa ma se ebo yi de ne boarding entity so ansana shippers authority beka kasa no wo kasa niema no ne boy a shippers authority ne se ye hwɛ eniema na wo de esi eposo no wo de ba Ghana no for instance ne ahwɛ obi di a ono so de esi eposo ebi o de Cote d'Ivoire obi di o de esi poso o de Togo ye hwɛ ni nyina ne ya hwɛ price no omo gege no nti ye de compare tumi ka say ebi a Ghana de no ne bo de ndodo nti ye mra no ese se shipping lines na fe de so omo be charge a omo form charges no emra yen ne omo charges no omo de brain a na fe ahwehwe mu na akaza charge we de ewo kwan se mo charge we de mo be chiche me be yai ewie yai some of the shipping lines charges be omo de abrain no ya tro mo ka kire mo se omo provide justification omo kire ni nti amo de sa charges we mo be increase sa charges we ya ka kire mo nti se justification ba na se for se any yes your research and hwehwe mu aya no any agree we will right to say we are not approving na ya approve a emra no say ya approve an so mo de ya adwuma say ya approve a omo ntumi fa nya adwuma na ye ntena o say ye headmaster
metene ya wo kan ya se a na se sun a ewo mu a omo ekra niema ba besu kire yen na nibo eden shipping companies no omo sisi yen shipping lines ni sisi yen nyina no nature say your authority no so bo bi ye because na wo ken say wosenka omo de bo no kra ba omo timi justify say bia because of we ya ne bo aye den na bwenti ene
kanino na ade authority no na ne mandate ne say omo de omo ye friend say charges na ba monko na monko sre moni omo nkoka
authority ni mom kosre
any omonkoka money omonkoka sana omonye the word is go and negotiate. Now when you be negotiating na ono na auto ne ship and say me na maboka say or say me nya obende but say from 2024 yeah new shipping shippers authority a new act that now says say you know mo na mo je omonfa mo charges ni na amre am the charges ni ba yen ye be hwehwemu your rights here be approve your rights here be disapprove and that is what we have started doing. In fact act na aba na prepare ho li ebetumi a share at no kina na yetumi dia ye adwuma but before li no kra no ebewie no ubisa ma ansana yewie 2024 no na oma prepare a new actor a boy and at this time it gives us more power to look at whatever the charges are and to regulate and to determine say we ye betumi e de ayedwuma ana ase enye den yemfa anye edwuma into no they are because of that into ya tro mo nyina mo mfa mo bills mo charges na anye den emfa mbra se na make no enne ansana meba me kwachira de am ife wabai I had to sign a letter some of the shipping lines charges we on the aban aka tro say we de ye ne mo nya adwen a enye yi we de momfa justification mbra yenim say shipping lines ni bebre so wo ho a oh say one buyer say omo be business and obi ba so be business it is actually unethical not to expect the person to make profit obi ade emfaso nti no bia edidwa na mom yensu ye dwuma omo aban dia hye nsane say obey profit there nanso will not allow you to milk the ordinary shipper enti enim say aban adwuma so waye wama say interest rate dollar rate na aba form no there are some of the shipping lines and the dollar rate about some 10 was 10 pentama ko 9 asefo but some of the shipping lines no omo use omo ankasa omo rates and omo de ye adwuma wo ubisa na o say say manfa a Bank of Ghana rate na ejuma me koje o me commercial bank of course say Bank of Ghana rate no e be lower than ebia okoje asam ka ebia ko member bank biadin but oko commercial bank bi na okoje ne dollar ebia mo de be also kakra as in Bank of Ghana rate yeah nhwehwemu ko hu say even commercial banks na mo koje omo use omo rate no omo de omo charge shippers na omo charge shippers no higher than omo ankasa commercial bank rate na omo nya no nti esa nhwehwemu yina na yes nhwehwemu yina no ye de akoto Bank of Ghana enim the Bank of Ghana and make sure say obe crack the rip nti no send ya making na me bo
no ni page na no omo say ka yem page mo omo say bi a rate no ye ji say dollar no rate say ne de be ba shipping no say ne de be kona
sa send ya making na me bo echina ya hihye sa meeting na echina me ankasa me kosa meeting ni be Bank of Ghana ye di complain research na say for wan a ASI na de omo ina din akoma Bank of Ghana nti echina wato nsa afro omo nyina na nia ewo ho no se aban ekokoden se si be maintain ye be strengthen ye city no won se ne be ya you see it is only when kanena metewa na duty ni boy den say so what do was what for ma nkofo nka se duty ni boy den because a city dollar rate na emu ewa tententen na ma de bia unya city bebre ansa de akoto dollar ansa de kutua wadi say because of the senior dollar rate akoye no ama the cost of doing business kakra na den eba form enti aban ebo etu saa anamoyin se ne be ya obema cost of doing business aba forma as I say all stakeholders in eden ye bo aban se ne be ya omanfo entem asomeden ebe haremo nti ehu ni kwan se aban tu saa anamoyin ede mfaso ba no ebinum be hye nchen aka se ye de ye rate ne be yusu until we petition the Bank of Ghana. The Bank of Ghana is taking action na me bo echina ye be hia na ne wo mu bia no omanfo nyina so be den ebe te se ne be ya aban be koso even though the cost of doing business because of the dollar rate enema eba form no enema bebre wo ho a yebetumi assign den aye ebema the cost of doing business no aba form more what you say na what we are present ma directive we say what task transport minister so munhwem some of the charges are enkofo no edeka they are the same charges omo de brain ya so ya tro mo letter say they are unjustified they either justify it or we disallow president Mahama so na no ahyem enti no kakra enam ye new act na ba just 2024 year ye hu ella ye prepare no given that some of us yenso ya adwen say ha na ye din akohyese ye mwa ne enso man will make a mark esanse ya re attach so no me gidi say enche bia omanfo niema kofom no ombehunu even better than near omuhunu na se ne be na obia ekom ehare no na ibetumi edipin international trade na amanfo ade bia na omusu kane no eso kotoka $1,000 na odisi nsuo so eba ehu duties kra na afo wie na won young men we nam for motonton cars wo nkwanche omusi business mba se yoko omusi se de yetumi tua duty no yetumi ye se ne be ya edwuma beba oman no mu obakofo didi a ekromu nyede enti na edwuma ba aman na mrantie ne mbaba wanso nye bia na woda no ayeden wada nko awunya na obi enye bia woda kra woda enye ye because of say bia obeba be okro no na sefo enti wenum ina some of the interventions am for say yekun ekodin na yenso ye mandate ne prosecute no se ne amari attack so say ye be no kwasem ne say ohun say obi wo ho na say mu regulate na na ofo se nko peso ye ni o peso ye na odi nya ne mfaso bibre na sefo na regulate na eto de bia na wompe into no we have a lot of backlash from some not all of them some of the fishing shipping lines international shipping lines to the bia mo pekra wo kan na wo de to anam de afa ye LIA prepare say wo from wa na omo de afa ha wo kan we ya na mo say wo kan na so me de makama matene pain so omo pew omo mpew yeah, we will regulate them according to the laws of the country. Want to me mfi mukrom man be di business me di power ha na we di power no na fe opese wo no obewro ye kawa e fire beti entumi enye adwuma yen ye ko school kosua ade wo ho ye nkofo Ghana fo nso so no e wa abruchiro mo nso e business wo kwa emmara e wo ho no wodi eden wodi adwuma enti nkane na ankofo bi ba ye kromu a omanfa mara ye adwuma amoka omedada ahemfo binom na omofofa ye ne makọ rough na afi omoka se omofo se ombetumi abaye ne omope e wa na msese no sambe na twem mara a eye Ghana mara no e de be ye adwuma regardless of who you are no obedi mara so
Prof who can ma memfa minua be ma de yode aba we J Joshua osebi why me a straightforwarder a chese sa manfo kra niema no ba ye de ne se ye boa won ema woyi ye gina mfimfini na ade ba ko a mahu ene se Prof who can we dollar no ena chese cedi no ama ne homne so kakra atumi agina eboa yen problem pa ye wono eye se enka dollar no se be kosuro se be ba fomu enka yeni a ye wo kra niema na ba yenya ye no ka ye benya rate bi egina fa ako se ebia enei mu nyina rate we na munyusu because no na eye ade a ha ye pa nti se prof say changes ba sa page ne hia ye papa
oh so ekwe yen kan che no say one shipping lines no I mean to be fair yen come ma shippers nko our mandate requires that we work to protect the interests of both shipping lines and shippers. Into no unto mean chiaweni enka emma bakofo. The shipping lines on send a million cancar, Ubia will be on so called $1. Won into cast yem pagan a bakwa and pagan and fine in see infanto bia and senior bako so now the beer we call $1 no. Anya hona bia we call it. And banks no is okwa bonte na okọ $1 to you can admit obeni me ya adwen say opo $1 to wunya no the same rate obenya no different na yen concern say a different okrampo na it should be linked to, it should be related to baby a okoje no it should be related obi a adene aba 10 obi a se makoje no okoje 11 oba na obaje nkofo 12 ne 13 okoje 11 kra na mfaso nti na wo digwa na se wo ye 11.1 na se here oba okoje 11 se me digi 13 na sefo enso ade na obi enim se aba be se 10 na sefo enti no point ne se yene sene America no nyame boa echina Bank of Ghana for behia ye nyina na ehia megidi se me de me catch ade Bank of Ghana me gidi se me catch na etutu papa no e governor na catch say governor woni finance minister moye dwumaden pa to stabilize the currency moye dwumaden pa na wama ayisisi dollar no aba fom na se mamfa mo na ensi fom a ebe se mo de kanten akonsuo. And now I'm be see from the say, in spite of Ejuma Mayan, Ebinum so tiwa and on one cassa use arbitrary rate. And yes, I will do Nancy from Ejuma Woyana, what da one dano. So be a ye and near maybe a besena, a be a new trust our names in the chiachia, as yet teneno, near washer dances and Mraquine or what I said in the first one. Edin for senior bear near Ejuma governor and a finance minister on my yeno. Enkoye se akoye kwa na omanfo ebet emfaso no a eba no omanfo ebe benefit enkoye se asiu na dollar na abafom na nso so le bia shippers de bia na rate for na use more money they don't experience it. Good governance is such that its benefits must translate tangibly and be reflected tangibly in the lives of the people. Omanfo ankasa say omusu di ho adanse kasa oh saadi na ekoso na eyemayen nti no eye say ye nyina no ye beboa na ebetu ho anamon se ne ebe ya ne mapapa ekoso no ye nyina na ye beto so emfaso.
Rebecca Odoi, Prof. Say, send him the two just say or more adventure and near Simbisani because or more agents in this straightforward as in the Tadium Baha. And any day Dikanya me Benny Shujme dear so young penny for say from Ghana Shippers Authority or Momoa won't you or Massam Bisani dear way. Rebecca Odoi, dear you or dear boss ABY. If I so bisa Prof. For mamma say, Mrafasa shipping lines no more. Omutumi ba de niema ni bi ba bedru no mo ankasa asanya yia na mra no mo kwan because say ye adwuma ye no shipping lines ni bi de niema ni bedru a senke wo say ye ne yie no na say agent o momu afa kwan bi so yi niema na agi adwuma
say say
Prof mo ya aware of situation we
menim na it is important say some of these things, you know, about the agents and the various stakeholders, including the shipping lines themselves, you know, omuni mejuma yaye. Nti adibi koso na se when din kan enyen asutria. Yen nti no as I say eye pe omo bebre ya mo chro ya ma example enwumre ya again me bebe ya me head of operations hey Gapo afford the charges be bawo na quickly me Fred Gapo opinion catch and say every charge regardless of wherever it's coming from that would affect the shipper no it must be approved by the Ghana Shippers Authority na sa echina no modi adwuma unyame adomini or me nua penny me catch am say no yen kan mo tro yen hu asemiaye enti no yentumi mamo kwan na mo mfa sa charge no enye adwuma. I'm talking about Gapo a me ne kasa enti mesre no say there be on my entrance na yen hwe won charge no new charge or church, he was trying to explain to me, because regardless of how relevant or sensible the explanation is, and Ranasi yen necessary approve. To me, the Casa no Suki, any young bomb modern young call a meeting, not yen tenase, non church and McQuine, or church and McQuine say idea a trasuma, then young crown no be able to me at church, she person so be a ASN say, I did be so a force be able to me asre. And to swear it me so on behalf of the so the point I'm trying to make and say so I did be koso na say enya stakeholders no as so who say yenso ye wo ho for them into quickly na say mu ye asotri because part of our act no favors or says that there should be local content. Your local shippers, freight forwarders, na se for no. And you may be a say local people na ye. Into you ni kwan say what the near bana local people na be no amonso omonsabe call man no say yankasa e besan. And no yet here I see a home na you one among immediately send a bear the part of our act that favors local content will make sure that it is not honored in its breach. Into no Mr. Minya Bana say, one year former petition to the Ghana Shippers Authority. Na ya dia was a behwehwem fichu na bibia as I say no corner dano and as bibia as a pepe ya dano ya de beto.
Ya dia to if you say near air cost wo ye dwamu trade ministry say foreigners ye wo sika wo se wunya ansa na watumi abia adwuma say foreigner wo my Ghana mu so ne wo kodwamu a China for any yama memo predene de bi na eba mo ho yi
there be you see trade liberalization does not mean say ubia oye foreigner no etimi be ye adwuma bia you see under the concept of trade liberalization no ye wo enwuma bi wo ho a eye timemufo pe na ye untimi fit untimi nya China ni na o mba na o ka say Uber drive and a taxi Uber truck taxi taxi driving and as for a yet timemufo there. Ain't no say you may yes sister in your baker and also no a yet timemufo local for NSA. Well, intina no emra maho kwan obi kwan ni ho the foreigner ba na foreigner ba adwuma o no oye no e wo ho oh na yensu local so adwuma e no e wo ho intino say obi ba na see through say na medin kaka no ye act no so eka say we should endeavor to ensure say certain aspects of the jobs relating to shipping no are done only by locals no send your mind sa mandate no as I say yen so you make sure say sa mandate ye be den ye de be adwuma nti no ade bi wo ho adwuma bi wo ho na say locals na say ye na so be hwe na foreign shipping lines on one kasa person mo fa kuntu na kwan bi no one kasa ya mo buya sutri in a former idea senia yete say ibinumu edi omwankasa pe charge arbitrary exchange rate ye won hwehwehwehwemu a yehu enya evidence na e dey akodam Bank of Ghana make us a china ye be ye ho meeting saa so na obi kam bisa wo de brain ya nya so de brain na de edwuma mum ye be hwehwem enya adanse a kire se ne wo ka no e yampa enya anamon bi a asi tufa ho se ne be ya shippers nso omokon mu ebe hare omo no ebitu
ya wado si ebiwan mpaye na me boma Professor Ranso Jampo say nyame moa no na sa asem a waka na nwumre nyina because ne nsem na wo ka ne de na emom sa ni suade hunu no se beyo no betumi dia ya adwuma ntime me de ne say enka ontimi nye something better for this country wo baby a mampani ede na akwhye no me na kan sem bi o situa wo ho nya den se ne katwem prof watua ka se obeka atwem ti se ne wo so bo mpaye man no ye hwese eno no betumi agina na adwuma no because menyi niema ni bi o no ma menyi ni say ye easy
se
with ne ye kan se wo betumi ahwe no aka che sa wo mo ekra ship na
medin kan akase medin kan akache say there is a lot of pushback and there is a lot of resistance na me nkundi nkugu entino yebe kokoden but ni nyina nso ejina si yebe sensitize Ghana for ni nyina ye ho se ne ofood apa no na piano entino mo a obi abetumi di aboa no ese ye boa ye ho etode bia na me hu se ye sense of patriotism no ase wo fom tu be hwe no na ade bia anka ese ye kokoden se Ghana ni wo ye no wo be hwe na obi abeka asemi na won se Ghana ni niema bebre a ekoso a enye a foreigners ni yedi no so they cannot succeed without the connivance of the people of Ghana. So shipping lines omo ye push back shipping lines near eso omo ye no omo pese ye be regulate omo na so omo tintirintirin o ka so omo nkwa betumi aye. They do it sometimes with the direct, tacit or indirect connivance of some people in Ghana. Na me bisa sentie betumi ado amanfo a omo wo krom a omo abaso omo bedi pa no ye betumi ado omo asen yankasa ye ho so oman. Atele bia na our sense of patriotism no is lacking. Atele bia mpenimfo bebiri ho se we di nkase omo support na we di sie na ye kokodin na ye di buana oman ye no behwe na omo nyina no omo nsem ahojo and nasefo. And one of the challenges we have as a developing country in everything that we want to do is the deficit of patriotism, particularly among duty bearers. See na yabedo oman na yakase yankase ye man yanara yasasi nia na yabeko aje oman na wuso ha na miso ha ebetumi ama oman no afa ne ntoma pa ayeden efra. You know, so bompa mameno meje mpa bono na ye nyina ye moabo ye ho na meje say with patriotism no we bit me and make giant strides.
Evans Samevo de you de about say bi why from the narration profama enwumre no na che say se change bi aba e wo ye import ho no mo a na enye because of the promise mampani ede ma say ombetete port charges no so nemom ye because of the cedi no a atumi ama ne homene so dollar no sa ansem no na aboa na ye natural course natural course no
na adi I mean ka 7 show me ko hu finance minister about charges na so for duties na so for and niam akoso and all ka say open or draw my attention say now who say he say cedi dollar rate no yamana abafom na won say yamana abafom nti ama duty akofom pena mekai duty na akofom dollar na cedi dollar rate na ayeden akofom no enye by accident. It was a deliberate policy, and that policy no so we are enya cascading effect in every sector of the economy. Enti no enye accident say accident dia say ne anke betumi afansa abo aban nani swadi hu wa sheda na wa ye ne sa ena eno ehun eba mfaso nti no obi ka say natural cause a natural say wamfa enidie ene enuonyam ene abasodie amfanko bibia ese ko no man ade ba ko a mehu a challenge no ene say obi food ya pa ye pese ye twene san se obi ye adwuma pa insese ye bebo na baso na nka ne ti beda na nka obeye ne yie ne ho asan ye no se wo ye ade ye a na eye nkofo bi nso ehi se wo ye ne ye I don't understand se wo ye ade ye me pacho tie ade a omampeni ene omampeni ade a aban a ewo so eyi the benefit no ebre ye nyina enti no ade a omanfo binom ebeye ebinom tiase na ne ebinom nye no ene se oman ade ne kɔ no kra no ade we enkosi aga ebesei enkosi aga enkodu bebia eye nation wrecking comment se ade ekoyi a ye boni pakro no abaso se ne ebeye a nia oye no obekoso ahyeden no aye ne yie na eso mfaso ba ye nyina atibiedi enti no
mejiri se ne opeso hu ne se na se port charges no se ye bete so se bia ye behwe na ye jiha mampani ka se ye bekeka bia bomu no na ono pese hu se enye no na ahyase ye adwuma sa biri ye wo mu no
charges no se ne amedi nka ka kire won number 1 shipping lines omo de omo charges si say emra se omo fa mre na yenye den yenhwem metumi aka kire airport airlines no cargo omo ye cargo fa cargo omo de omo ship omo de omo charges bebre abre wo ho a ya ma ho kwan aka kire se ma mo fa nya edwuma omate ase na shipping lines nso se ne amedi nka ka no one de wode aba atro mo so mo fa justification anya den emra don't forget say me see act na e ma ye ho kwan se ye nya edwuma no ne airline po yeguso a and about 2024 year into a juma and which what to say on my opinion last week here I'm order. So some of their charges be okra. You cannot implement them. I just a finance ministry, amount the abayin amount kwan say would be ejuma. Into a task the minister said the minister should work with the other relevant stakeholders and relevant ministries to ensure say all charges that you cannot explain because charges make of a beach who be sound say are they to me 4 to me 1 or raw cover for beating tia because I told be a charge say duplication be ujin one won't say ain't it abayin asama near no abayin so as I mukina say minister or definitely work with control charges into me share on crying say yanum so entwen opese say nyame adom $3 rate na ama niema ayeden aba from kakra na as we also work on the charges at the ports we'll be able to reduce the cost of doing business sene be ya oman for ekom ebe harem
yo prof afi yenhwe delay say ye ekoso obi de ne niema ba because how ba koso ekoso no o de niema na ba wo say yeye osu o mo hyede delay na o mama de mortgage aka no na che say wa boka suso ho so de wani ahwe ho
delays say de bia no delays no niema bebre wo ho a ede ba on delays niema bebre wo ho a ede ba na de bia no ya na ede mortgage na ede eba na oba mashe ho a omo etro en letter bebre say delay we ya charge and demurrage na omo ntiase yakum na se hwehwem na se hu se enye omo na omo ma delay no eba na no nti di demurrage ba ya tro shipping lines aka chem say sa demurrage ye makwan ma muntua ene se eto de bia wo de ti o obi wo ho a onim se so kotua ne duty onim se meniama eba sabri ebia ontua last minute na akoso kotua obekọ na ama eniama bi adile ena to de bi nso a machines na SS scan eniama no eya na e break down onti break down a na adile aba shipping one a eso almost scan eniama no omunye adwuma memreda na kwesiada enso woniema eka Friday a na ye charge delays a na ma calculate memreda ne kwesiada a omo anko adwuma no ompese omo de na egu so yen yeti sa ansami a ye ma ho kwan nti delays no bebre eba eto de bi a na efishipa na nkasa eto de bi nso a emfishipa no nti nia emfishipa no na se edi demurrage ba no ye mo kwan wote ya nanse ya amampani ne so ade hu se obetu galamsey ase anaso obeko galamsey na waka se ye friend say excavator bia ankofo ede ba Ghana no number 1 shipping lines no as so mon gi permission efi minister of transport or answer the excavator na ba and number 2 excavator na ba ye manu nko abonten just ya register one register excavator na ye ma on fan kwa body this is a new policy directive can it enter sir obi had the excavator ba ya register ye register na or the artisim and I say aban ba say there be we have to register all excavators and so meba
galamsey kun ne bi abehye waso ye
meba so register excavators answer na esan say ye person register excavators na answer ninten ama na excavators na abodompem ewo port na excavators bodompem port a hs so hu say obi nso de ne niema eba edi delay na be den ebeba inti quickly enim sa na pe me catch any gapo afo ni mpenimfo akasa se esan se excavate aban eri so ade hu se person register excavators answer na akokrom no inti no ama delays ayeden aba port wanti no ye shipping lines for no so nye den enkasa se ne be ya these delays no aba no it is not the fault of the shipper inti no ye mpese o mbegina sa delays no so e dey a charge demurrage na se for wo inti no ye hu delay aba enye shipper no fault a ye konkoden make sure say obi entumi enko charge no demurrage esan say enye ono ye Until we do all these things.
Until there's a courses, no, it be from shippers, no,
shippers, not to be a mock, but to be a machine also a break down. Or there's a light to call off, and then as for machine break it down, and also to me delay adding eba, and I told the beer weekends. California Juma and also but na and you may be a cost or port to where senior making say excavators be break about on Pemohui and also no it will ma in your master cabin back fast no into being into it with the list but I need no senior making almost every month you get a couple of letters about Oma ya charge or delays demurrage for say and justifiable.
But say no yanka say ya charge obi demurrage keke na unipa krowa kotua se wo sa muhwehwemu a mojebre no mahwehwem wo se nipa ni tua na
sa wonga ede krata brain about demurrage no they are usually woman for say the charge of demurrage no enye justified omo adanse e kire say we dey obi ye ebunikom nti omo de ba no mo be ka omo asem kire na yensu ehwehwem na yehu say enye justified that we fight for them.
Okay, na say ye kan mu a da bia mu besu se no mugio Ghana so ade ba ko a ye ne say me kasa mitiri ho no obi wo hono mu aka ya no akotua so obenya adaje untimi ntwere kora wa ma obi atwere ma ona se megidi se omo ba ma office okra ya wo ba bi a so obi wo ha obi obetumi aka na se mo ene so wan twere kora ye betie ni aye
ye wo office wo port ni ho nyina port otema habona nkasa office wo ho na port wo your offices wo ho nti your shipper complaint unit nti wan twere kora mpo na okọ na akọ complain a ubisa Ghana shippers authority ye buso wo ho port wankasa office wo na gapo abiode no mu so no ye office ankasa tema main ayi wo ho ntino de bia shipper complaint is almost enye na ho ntino obi wo ade bia ofo se affecting the interest won oye shipper uko shipper complaint unit na wo ko make sa complain ya ye be hu investigation na nia asese prepare eto no ne asese asem no da no ye de atowo se ne be ya yenye obia bukata anase the interest of the shipper no will not be compromised.
Na prof with excavator die ya wo ken no se nipa na cre excavator no aba bedru ye pese ye fight against galamsey nti yes you ye mani si abonten ye pese ye hu bibia awie nti wo de kwa na atumi attrack ni babia wo de kɔ ni we nyina but ma delay so ba wo mo ma so ye ho enti ye bo kwan foforo bi ebetumi afa so aye ho adwuma
abonsam jem adwem papa ne de kɔ the road to hell is paved with good intentions abano any so ade hu no se ne agalam se etu atese ono so pese oye no ho na oboa na yeko enti na ode sa policy abano se untumi mfa number 1 excavator bi a wo de ba ya wanji permission fi minister ono woni hu kwan se wo de ba enti watomra aban minim se omo dwen sa de hu se those excavators aban be seize ana so be ye no eno aban mi gidi se enche bia minister e de ho directive beba because minister enche bia no or the directive command all the shipping lines e kai omo se mon kai hu se excavator bia mo de beba no ansa na obi atu akasa ode balance ode beba man you need the express permission of the minister well entino wanga edi omode bae a omani permission ne omode omo permission omode bae en na sefo yina amahwa abodom pe obi sanse kwan foforo bi a wo ne gapo a for mpenim for kasa there are so many interventions so in bi omo ADB ekosisi military barracks ne other areas a ekwan wa ebema friends support wo ebe free kakra ntiro kwa gradually no omo yi no kakra bibia ekwan bi wa ombetumi eko keep wo ho till book processes and documentary processes ebe wie no they are doing that just to be able to free the ports and ebe delays yeah
but ye betumi the 24-hour no so asim 24-hour economy die so abewura mo ho ama say delays no eso ate because any wo kan weekends Saturday yenya adwuma Sunday yenya adwuma and then me gidi say 5 p.m. yapon nya ne sa it is 24-hour economy na no me ne openne ka so o ye pese ye hya ase free aban nwuma mu baabi mo ho no mo de niam agugu akwan mu amadu
I know pots pots na me gidi say port for hya ase say omodi 24 hours no economy no e be hya ase e wo ho nso se ne be ya ene anopo ewio enwumro anajo fa and port no e be den e be adwuma within 24 hours nti no se sa adwuma yin so ye 24 hours eno so be ma delay ne niam a ma nkofo because ebia o person obotu ya sike bi na clear goods about 5 o'clock about 4:30 or say me pentem mapon oni na delay but when him say otumi yi any day of the day within the 24-hour economy policy now. I know Emma business for business ebe koso afi shippers so omokomo ebe hayomo afi online no be lively because they be are not just nkofo ekwadwuma won eni adwuma ye no say ye bie mu saa woka say 24-hour economy e say won ye adwuma epon 4:30 no after 4:30 na say fa nkofo fro na omo nso ebe adwuma eto asonti no omanfo nso ebenya adwuma ye se ne ebe ya oman no mu ebe de
ya wado de ayo de aba se bi wa mitiem free Germany Berlin na mitiem free dodo na frame ya obroni na ma menchia prof anwumrei na ka che ne se na adwuma na so ya wo de no wasan de bia beto so bio Ebenezer Kwabna for you se bi wan prof fa galamse nsem ho de prof wo bika because omo kasetia galamse wo mayimu no prof ka ho eti ni osena ban eye no wo so ma yehu anwumre ya ansa no wako Kwabna for yi de ya wode aba eno no ena weso de yode aba mamemfa Cynthia Eshen de yode aba se bi wan in fact prof akasa anwumre ba ni nyina mu no me still say wo de Ghana toto aman bi efa port eto ye omogegi a Ghana ya de no boeden ya de no boeden papa enti ne e wo ka no mimi gidi say 6 months in office there enkanye we are putting measures in place brofo and anwumre e wo say profo ka ke wo say by now ye hu say bia ya tete so ya yiwe ya free ho because ye niema no ana esa wo fa bi o se ye niema no me etoda me mfa Ghana biu
it is very true in fact niama ye mu bi ya more fired to work in the area ye adwuma no is the fact that we are very much aware say niama senia ye charges ye de charges to niama so ewo Ghana ha no so crossing other neighboring African countries and emisa makers no wentie me make sure say aban year no ko end no na yenya a new act kane no na Ghana Shippers Authority ne otimi yense wokwa na ko negotiate wokwa stress we de monte so okay but now you have a new act that empowers you to approve or to disapprove act no buy na fiance ya started the adwuma ehun airline mpo yentumi enye wie yegusu ayeye until no it is work in progress and we can say 6 months ebia 6 months moon two and one among bia not just one culture no within the proper context now let's say you have also not been fair because airline impo a best saying in crime you to me yeah art no aye adwuma ye no ye no cry ye but regardless of that no me catch no ebia enso no so ye but oko shipping lines no biblia or more charges or more the brand biblia ha atete so ana biblia ye disallow ye oko airline for ha almost more the charges biblia almost biblia ha ya ma no anya den ya mo amfa nya adwuma enti no step by step gradual processes and you be to me afa and sustained effort you be to me afa na ye be ma impact no ayeden o ma feel pa nti se nia o ka se still aniema bo it could have been worse na mom omo de ba yenso ye kire omo se we de yentumi fa anya adwuma nti no omo de enko omo nyanka de bia na nka ye to so de bia na nka omo de bi e ka ho ye na ye pull the brakes now as we firm or finalize our airline afi be won say we are into full swing no on be even airline nya adwuma no kra no adwuma ye na me ka kire no say we bia wenti a ma me nsan ka se as we speak, some of the shipping lines use arbitrary exchange rates. But my children are more to a phone. And yes,
and also on only the Togo. And say, no,
no, we are saddened to say young fires, ya nine in see for more. Obon say one and case of money Ghana, a medium business, a fat Ghana in ano. One beko, one tear say, Caneno, Obi per se, or ye car or Ghana or similar fatugu, and as for besides a dintia. A near man, a duties, Nasafua, and a boy, the intino, and ye abreso, ne President Mahama abreso na international trade and a business, ebeko from President Mahama's ambition, Niniswadi, who say he would lower and reduce the cost of doing business. Na ye na you near air costs here. Especially given the dollar rates now above from but we also believe that more can be done to prevent the practice where people who genuinely would have done business with Ghana, no, Burkina Faso. These are not countries that are stable. Oh, yeah, business, not per se, business, no, drain the political stability of the country involved. Intino, you best say in your say, Anya Krano, ye kukuma edumaden, but the added advantage is that Ghana is politically stable. Ha asumbiwa ha, oda, no ada. Intino, ye be ye betu to trust your sister, no say, on shenia akoso, nansenya kakre impui, no shenia ye guswa ye. Well, na ebema enyama aye intino one for one business, no, one koso, one Ghana, and your business.
Or Paibu, do say, ABY. Kache prof say sa wo ba abanye adwuma num say position a wanya ya is different from adechere. Ohun kan ni suade hunu ni opesa oye system no. Enti I doubt say ne wo kan yin obetimi aye ntu de tape no akua fato ho. Menyin ni da say prof betumi aye ne wo kan no. Ne duru ho a ene ebehu.
Senior medi nkan ya no. Oman ya minim nientia yetesa but nyo food ya pano aya yempese be piano
enya kokobo no wo bo wa mo down
wan ka kokobo o se minjin di so betumi aye na obi food ya pa ba maka kire o se enkofo bi wo ho a omo mpese be regulate omo but ya ka kire omo se ye be regulate and we are doing it na mo charges kura omo mpese omo be brain but enne omo the charges ne bra na hwemu aka kire omo se wo charge ye mfa nyedwuma ontie mia mesa ka kire ne se kechina anka gapora e de charge bi eba echina ka gapora e de charge bi ye adwuma enwumre ya mete ye pe na me frɛ me nua pani se we de ye discuss here we are not aware nti twan ma ye hia ansa o si wuku ada na pa bra ne nkasa enye adwuma ye enye adwuma ne bi ne ye enye adwuma ne bi ne ye se wo ka se denti na president Mahama order say all charges are your friend is saying all the charges are your friend is saying of course say illegal no order transport minister say onye na all those charges ye okay say enye adwuma ye behind the scenes until you start ye adwuma no mani penyi na ye den ehu wo na make sure omo a omo use omo ankasa arbitrary rates no eba ne say na ebeto odwa and eba ne say na ye come meeting yena obi report ma ye tu ho anamon akoye ho investigations etumi identify won a yesa e de omo ina akọ Bank of Ghana okay eye adwuma ne bi no enti insure beto a say fi anopa enti ya start ye say na ohu a say omom bo mpa eta yechi say na America no oman mu se obi ye aban bi ye adwuma ezi o enkosi aga matubati amanyokuo fibu amanyokuo fo bi atie asinwura mu ebo mpaye se aban ye wo so no kra no mfeli na omonso embeye omunya kwan embe na se abwa mpaye no wa encourage aban a wo so se omfeli a ofeli anye na na efeli na ofeli a na chese wo adwuma ye si ye bom paye na ye bo aban abaso na ye se omunkran na omutumi ye ne omo ye reset Ghana yi a eno na chine bi se wunya tumi se wo so bebu oman na wo dadwen ne wade so na wo adwuma no obere eso aden ate enti no se obi ye bibi asa it's typical of us obi ye bibi na se ya instead se bebo na baso na manfo we de menji ne se obetumi enkosi aga ba megidi se we no emwa ese se ye ten ye pessimism no pessimism to optimism. So adia wo ye die eye enti ne bo aba so ena ma nipa no ono so tumi fired up otumi ye ne ye na obi ase wade a wo ye die anye yi a ono kra tumi hwe se wa nipa ina ne mse anye ye enti man kokra na anye yi a ade yesi anye ye enti nya nsa ba me ka hye nyame nyam se ye no mo de yesi mo ache na ya ye ntie ni anipa bi eka nia ye determine se ye beye no asafo awurade ne ye moafo ye boafo ye beye e de ahye onu nyankopon die ni onyam e de ahye Ghana fo nso so eni onyam
yo Eric Opaimensa sie bi wan Ghana fo ya ho atamfo unim se charges aye ka ho asemi okoport ho no mu a nipa ni bi hyehyemu ya wo mu ejigigigi tuo ni bi a ebi wo kora enkwa aba afutuo mu eno so ka ho eti se prof say omudi omani bedi achiedi a ene e ka che ne se na ni so mfa nkofem because ebi wo ho no mu a ebi mu gigigigi sika bi a enkwa aba afutuo mu kora nti ommo omani enko ho no so na emmoa yesa ni ombe nyina no ebeye kwa
eda na se and let me share nkofo bi omo ye advocates for indigenous freight forwarders omo se omo de omo ye grassroots na se for na omo so ne meka nsem bibiri omo so ni munema ekoso ewofom ti nema ni bi wa me ne ya adwen obi ba hye kona bi na wagigigi usike bi a enkwa aban futuo mu obibia ni nyina ema the cost of doing business eko high ni nyina ebema obi etina ase o se ene memniema memfa Ghana port mbekwa akofa Togo na china yehwe ma nipa nyina ede omo niema eko Togo port Burkina Faso ene Ivory Coast na asefo a ene wo be den wenye adwuma ni biaye se ne be ya wonso nsa bekwa wano internet ye niema in such a way se de be fa mra kwan so se ne be ya ebetumi a sustain international trade se ne be ya oman no edwadie esemo no ebe sustain na obi anso ensa betumi akona no na oman no so impuntuo enso be konkan
Samuel Abobi say ebi wa misra bisa prof ma me say omo office no e wo hifa o waka o say prof sentim bi o ma no
yeah offices in say bebre ebi wo Takrade ebi wo Tamale ebi wo Kumase ebi wo tema de no okwa ho ne heartbeat no wo gapo adan mu a na head office nso wo around opposite the new Bank of Ghana building ho na head office nso wo and okotema shipper complaints okoport wa Ghana Shippers Authority offices wo ho bebre into obi wo shipper bia wo complain na what the shipper complaint unit what the call e be DHA gidigidi
Joseph Kofi area or say ebi Professor Jampo ye one of Ghana ye intellectuals omo oman no ho adwempa se ombesom oman no nti position we ya wanya no eno ene bedadi ewu mu ama ye hu se adwempa yo wo oman Ghana ho no wanya position or de aye adwuma na chese amanfo ehwe animu pa GBB free wonom prof na prof ansa na ye be so ye no se mka cho se ye be san tiesi amanyusem num kakra o se political party bi be take decision se obi afiri mu ye pese na yire ebehye mu
mamen summarize ewo ye shippers ye dwuma ye ho na afi wo de no aba enti me catch Ghana for say no kwasem ni me ahoho a say omampani eto nsafre me say menya de member som na member boa na medi nkan eda omampani ase na me da Ghana for bebre me fans me supporters ase a won e bom paye ma me won a hye me nkran obi to me fra wonim no o fra say me ogidie wo mu me wo confidence wo so betumi aye me hwe adwuma a waye e wo man mu wankasa portfolios a wa occupy na sefo a enim so betumi aye enti no me ka kire omo say confidence na omo wo me mu no me ahonwaho a and omo eni daso a omo wo me mu no I don't take the confidence any in daso no omo wo me no for granted enti no ye be kokoden na to de bia adwuma no ye ne papa na nkofo bi so ti wa na omo so ka no omo ka won nsem bi a omo person omo de bu feel so person for den me she Ghana for boss say given what I've done with my life giving me ankasa pere ya me subject politicians to street proofs say me pese omoye ne eten no. There is no way say sebe busemu kansem bia oba na obi ti bebi na oka na sefo no. I can assure them say ebi entom ebi mfa me dan echi me makwan anase me nye adibia ebema omanfo ejidi a omo mu no. I will not do that. I remain focused in doing what I've been asked to do, and I'll do it. Namia Dumunti minim say would achieve and excel in grand style. Area share minor any nyam my appointing authority and so mediation in dan Michiano. I say, Prof, course we wage you. Now be I want to cram in you. And I say, I don't say minimum say will be to me. And I'm saying that say on penny. So what's I did? I said I didn't know. I don't take it lightly. You be Emma on one can say who say choice no no a choice papa na buagana.
Na tano CD can be free hand or do we have more say be why Mampeni ma campaign. One of the promises of my and it said waba omua omukra niema ba omunye sika nyino ombe provide financial support more akle omugus na omatua na chiri akosi sen
mpacho se yen we regulate and protect obi dia dibi dishepa na se famra kwanso ene kwone yakoko na omampeni ehye sa abono a megidi se enyema mantese or kasa mum but so kasa megidi say there is an appropriate authority in charge omonso de enyema egugu akwenmu a I want to believe say me papa mu no e bete so aba intino no enye shippers authority ya de but I want to believe that it falls within the purview of a particular sector omonso bia ebra megidi say emra esemuno omode nhihye begu akwanmu a people can access that support if truly it was a promise that was made.
Prof, political party being advantage more say ebia ye nipa frimu na yankofa nipa foforo mfra bonten ma so wo ye hwan yo be ma de ye be makunafo abesi na nam. No in politics no ema wunya advantage more ma we sympathy vote ye adwuma at that time no.
Unfortunately, the elections in developing democracies and voting in developing democracies to the biana they are based on popularity and sympathy. Well, no emwa oko amanonia bibia omo democracy akweni mu no ansana yebeka se oko contest no yet me trace background ko day nursery you could be so day nursery teacher say work school no now to saying but America jana almost your mobile fa judge bi na say ye trace ya ko background ko hwe adwuma ben na waye position ben wa occupy position, what were achievement, what were challenges, then you're to be able to determine your competencies. Answer na de to me asha. But unfortunately, in our part of the world, it is he who is popular who wins an election. Patriotism. It is he who is popular who wins an election. But in Nyama Bebre, it means the popularity ba. Obi timi kodi nsɛmfo ɛma ne popular obi timi kodi nsɛmpapa odi asempa nsma ne popular but generally is popularity, and then beyond apart from popularity people would also want to appeal to sympathy. But the challenges confronting us as a people are such that you need competence to be the criteria in deciding who must be voted for and not sympathy. I tell the bia essence in America nia obenya tumi no obenya ATM machine on a veranda suntino politicians resort to every unorthodox means just to be able to win power. It includes appeal to sympathy. Intino so be wudia and yemfa ne yere enkoye na dan na American di agro say yanhwe ye dia ene nkofo ema amoko omukunu nu wa de omokoje omoko na se mu ye da anhwe na we are encouraging other nkofo say ne omommo mpa so omukunu nyamento nsam from no mo so enye den enko contest. But the substantive issue I want to talk about is that elections in our part of the world must be based on competence and not sympathy. koye sympathy and I say what to nkofo no empuntuo what to empuntuo no their quest for development what to nasaram and say mfa ho say ni kunu ewunti yemfa no nkogina se ne ebe ya nkofo ebehwe amudi ehumobro ebeye den ebeto aba but mingi ni say it is the best na ese ye ka momote ase say sa constituency me sure say akotia constituency ho asem na aka ese won say akotia na 44 say MDC fuedi ebeye 4 times na
traditional
it is a swing it is a swing constituency one na say omo person one person omodi okunafo kono they should rethink. Number one, it is not the best, it does not help promote development but NDC decided say one be fail the candidate here. They will have the upper hand because they can simply it's a simple message of muntu abamaye yene wa abemu yedim puntu obeba vis-a-vis nia oni abemu MP wa ban wo abemu no utumi lobby ema wo de mpuntu den ekọ wo constituency more than MP wo opposition wo lobby no entimi enko nkan senia ono abemu entino my view is that if we want to contest if the contest is going to go on, it should be based on who can really help the people to develop, and it shouldn't be based on whose husband is dead and so who can appeal to sympathy. Me for say
na constitutional amendment aye bo modern ne wose ye ne aye bi commission ni we no hono mo so ye de ani hwe ho aprof enye hwebra nipa ne be free mu days aye say some few days yensa ankoye by election and then nka political party a obi awuwo mu no mo amomfa nipa na onko eno no nka mo ansen say by election yakoboro ye ho yakọ spend this kind
there be election say yaboro ye ho elections say yaboro ye ho na
unim say party ni choose nipa enye
there be ansana political parties ye form mo no na wanga to me warm no more. I'm saying that we the citizenry we existed before political parties were formed. To me now you did determine say why enko si anan no yen you decided your party decided. Oh, and you want to mean as a political party in fan quest. Oh, no manfo no ekire or my dream say we nanko to the party inside you have undermined democracy. And you know as I said by all means no say beto aba ye to aba nemum ye making sure say me did say Ablekumanoffi me say IGP me say ofa no one for or the two from kakra on say be enough for say your friend is saying 19 polling stations in tinema bi ho a de one yeno or so kakra na mum say na me pese afutu amede be mom no say if you now record they should begin to make sure say security arrangements are intact obi ense say occur within certain inner perimeter of bibi aye to aba as I say mo make sure say onko na momma ankofo ati ase feature say wa obekwa kodi etu trust sem no mankofo ti ase wa obekwa kodi etu trust sem no ye chewa ye ne obedi no pepepe se mra ese into yes announcement in all the men no ekoho na fe mo bia bode wuro se ye mpese obia be ye basabasa odie basabasa emra na obedi a megidi se ebembo enkofo mo pepese omo beye basabasa ebebo mu hu a omo nkofa emra enhye omo nsem enkoye na menti no yebesre IGP said this time they should be more proactive se ne beya cause near course no Ablekuma adi megidi say entwe even though ubisa say na was there also not a cause but regardless of the cause no me feel say anye kra se ye beto aba na ye be boroboro ye ho te se sebe nipa democracy no yenkoye ne we've been practicing democracy since 1992 into no there should be an elite consensus say ye koto aba ye kokyere wa adwen na me kokyere ma adwen se security agencies no ye omo asade yi electoral commission for so ye omo adwuma yi a enka ne ye de kwa wo kokyere wa adwen wa besen ko obebi ehun hia se ye beto aba na ye bo obi ni so anase ye dituo be bo obi ana bibi eno no e kire say ye democracy no we are not growing.
You prof ebre no nya ye be ase na ebre no enso da eso ebre no na aso no na Eric Pomagbe o se bi wai me boss na one ne kasa anwumre no ka chen se me pena sempa ye frɛ me Eric voter region Mafikumase voter region Mafikumase wo ho
Mpacho minimo Ericus me da se me so me don
o se ho no de na adwenche no efi eba master plan engineer Kentampo o se akua unim honorable NSC akumi na yire no kra no menyi ni se obekọ ompe kasa onye obi a opedede na sa politics we ni sa mu dede no enti mesrew na ewo hu bia no enimu sa yo omuso eye adwuma ndi o maye pa atumi akofa ne photo a o sere twe na o matwa na o mode abase won no okọ omo eye no se MPP for so mo ho na ye hu mu ye na omuso e preman pani de na o mo na mu na masia ko mense piletu o se akua mesre pa MPP amanyuko nipa ewo mu no attack say ya attack ye hu no yade baako especially candidates omo omaye omadwen so ombe pre na omadi party nanimu no udu yonko atem na wanya ama wuntumi hohoro eti mesro tu omo foma me say yempe ye kura ye di omachi ni wo abedi atem yemua yo semohu ne saade a eye medase wo so dia aba azi twuma sisi ebi wa mehwemu free Israel Tel Aviv na mame mmoma baso papa kache prof so say yeta na chi adwuma no onye kwaku ampa o se ebi wa mechia wanwumre na ye politicians na mesre omo se omano kasa omoma ho ente emayen na NSC akumi ayire no so mesra me nanka da bi mi de minim ye usu bisa me se o kwa na ne mahu no maka no flyer no na fira no pa se hwan na ye betum mu ne mahu a ene maka chew no Ibrahim Ahmed o se bi wai ye mamomoni adwuma nyame enka mo ho na ka che prof so se me chia no papa yeta na chi onye adwuma no na na akua mo abo aten o se bi wai special happy birthday enkoma Prisla Nyaduji aka Amasamai Princess or level 400 Takrade Technical University eno wo nyame enka ne ho ma menna mo ase prof me da se papa unim ade ba akwa na me hwe wo ho ne se prof ni leadership no ebeye sen because ye wo nipa bi a omo mu nyuma bi appointment na chese nipa ne to them no wo twra wo nte ne nka but to come out say me a mecheche mene education ade abada bi ye ka ship na adwuma na enye nsuo sonko ewiem efem ba bi aka ho na say we are hoping say the education will continue enye nnenko a enema so a wahye ye boss o media kire mehwe nyina no yeso ye de ani bedi wachi ewom se ye san ba enkomo ne ye beto aso
da se ekua se onso ama mesa akwanyen na mabre pa se ne maye adwuma mi akọkira ade ansa na me san ba ha na enam ebu a na me wo ena fe so no me relationship a me ne media and for one no to de bia mo frɛ me ana me mpese metoto mo frɛ no ase ni na ya de boa ama oman no etumpon enti no na esese mabre kra meba nti me da sa akwanyen so a wonso de ama me na me gidi se emre semu no se bibi wo ho na wo san frɛ me a meje pene na maba na atwen komo me da se bebre
da se sachaye bia ba ela no kra mu wi a eho education ni nyina e wo se ye eti ye wo mu nyina no e beba ne abeto ankomo no so da se
me da se bebre
abusia Professor Ransford Jampo kane no nke kanka University of Ghana na nka ne ye de e bata no so ne de acting CEO Emma Ghana Shippers Authority Penia jese ohwechire ene ne na twetwen komo no yeda na se oso a woje britie ye hwe live wo Facebook YouTube aseda ne de emamu nyina yeda mase papa me producers loyal list wo kwadwofojo kwankulenu Aisha Ekua Ibrahim Jamratuma Kowa ena ne odimitum live wo Facebook and YouTube ni din edi Edward Tete enra wadanu o je fancy anopa sa na promise ho hyehye no anopa aye nusu awie na wudin ni ebo Edward Tete onso oba anadwo medase moni adwuma That's a papa. Meda Franco Trading Enterprise for so ase wonum ne cha yechi. Se wo hia fan, se wo hia air conditioners, se wo hia TV. Ade bi e wo hia ye fia de. Oh, Papa Franco